As a quick review, if you haven't viewed the videos or been here for the presentations at the end of worship, they're all online. This one will be the same. Study, service, or social groups to try and encapsulate how do we connect, not just with one another, and really not just with those in our community as an outreach way that we're going. How do we connect people ultimately with their Savior? Is one of the big things we're hoping to accomplish with Connect groups. Member-created, member-led, as you've heard about. And Mr. Beck last week went over what those might look like: study, service, and social. There's a lot of possibilities out there for what these might look like. If you're having trouble with just listing them off in your head, please come talk to one of us. We have lots of ideas. I think they're good ideas, but lots of ideas just to be a sounding board of how might we connect with one another in this. So today, we'll start by this one: questions that you have as you either through these presentations or these manuals that are printed in the back online for you. Giving you a shot for questions before I have some for us just to consider. Sounds like Pastor Lindemann will do the ones that you have prepared for us. What they are not, and I'll ask Sarah and Luke just to help kind of work us through these. Not this is another thing. You're all busy, right? There's lots going on. But this is not just, okay, now how do I find another thing to cram it into an already crammed schedule? Instead, we're looking for intentionality with the things that you may already be doing, right? Maybe this is an avenue to expand your horizons, to do some things that you've been wanting to do. This is an outlet. Otherwise, maybe just a way to be intentional. Just 2 case studies here. Mom and dad working full-time jobs Monday to Friday, 20 minutes apart from home, right? They're traveling too, and they're lamenting the lack of family time that they get. Because, right, Junior is taking music lessons and running cross country on certain days. Little Jane is playing soccer and likes hanging out with her friends. I don't have time for a Connect group. Do you see maybe a couple opportunities? Anybody? Where a Connect group might be started or proposed? You can shout it out if you see them. Sports teams, yeah. Hey, Junior, maybe you know, maybe you don't, is playing every other Saturday from now till November. And guess what? That lines up with some of our Connect group time. Hey, let's gather together. We can bring, yeah, right, a little party.
Great opportunity for a social one. We'll just gather for post-game snacks.
Excellent. Maybe another one. So social, study, lamenting a lack of family time. Yeah. What better way to maybe really make connections than how are you to have open conversations with an open Bible? Right, that a pastor or a spiritual leader would help facilitate, right? Not be there present, but just other families who are lacking or lamenting a lack of family time too, right? So just right into the schedule. Another one, Joseph and Mary, they're retired. Couldn't really care for social interaction. Who cares? We've done it all before. Wouldn't know where to start making relationships. But they do eat 3 meals a day, and they enjoy outdoor gardening. Well, depending on their health, what they can get done. Opportunities there for intentionality? Yeah. Hey, can you mind helping out? Even if it's put all our achy joints together with those who are achy jointed at church, right? We could go around to different places, different homes, have a meal together even, right? And even neighbors. Right? You think of those, there are more connections there. So just 2 case studies, it's not another thing. Or a replacement. We're not really, it just kind of maybe a supercharge to the ministry that we already have in place. Again, with that intentionality, this is not a replacement for Bible study, nor is it a replacement of the fellowship that we receive, right? Where it's born and really grows around word and sacrament, around the means of grace. This is in no way a replacement of that, nor is it like Bible thumping. This one takes maybe a little education, or hey, Pastor, we'll talk to you after. Not everything has to open with a prayer. I know you. You can't say that as a pastor. Instead, think gospel predominance, right? Where it's understood God is blessing this, right? This time together around his word, around his people, in the community of those he's drawing in. And so from that, sure, maybe there's an opportunity for prayer there, but it's not some necessity to try and mark it as a church thing. Where in fact, in a way, we're kind of getting away from that mentality, but not getting away from prayer and the fruits of the Spirit of, just enjoying the gifts God gives. Luke?
A lot of the groups that I think I find myself gravitating to would be like fishing, hiking. One of the things we talk about in Jesus and Me class is the natural evidence of God all around us. I think it just comes through just in what you're doing.
Right. God's goodness is evident everywhere. Don't try and say church things and then life things. They're God's things. 4 questions, and maybe they're there, maybe not, just to finish up. What happens if I'm not in a Connect group? Luke said that. Answer? Nothing. All right. In a way, what would change if I didn't come to church? In one way, nothing. But what are you leaving out? The many blessings that God has prepared for you in such a place, right? Especially as we talk around here in Word and Sacrament. There are blessings that we're detaching ourselves from by not connecting. And so this is one of those, right? Nothing's really going to happen. I'll be honest, I'll be reaching out. Not as hey, you need to be a part of a Connect group, but how can we continue to serve this? Because God has said in his word, this fellowship thing, he has blessings with it. How can we encourage you in that? And so, right, I'll be following up. Again, seasons of life, different. This isn't a good time. We understand that. This is from a position of grace and the blessings God's given us. Can I be in more than one? The short answer, I'm just going to say it for clarity, no. Why do I say that? Just for commitment's sake. Right? You'll have information on where everyone is meeting that you can show up to different ones. But what we don't want happening is, I'll go here and spend 1 week doing this thing and then another week doing this thing. Instead, that would kind of defeat the purpose. I'm committing to these people, right? We're gonna see this through. And so to begin, right, this first rendition, we're gonna say no, but that's not saying like you can't hang out with them, right? At the very same time. So just try and find one that best fits, and we'll make it happen with our coordinators here. I've never led something like this. How will I know what to do? September 21st, once everything is kind of gathered together, that's a whole month away, we'll have a Connect Group Leaders meeting where we'll lay out just very basic expectations and communication mainly of how this will go. But that goes to the point, how will I know what to do? What do you enjoy doing? Where does that new man that wants the blessings that God has given him, that has them, right, in Jesus, where do I want to explore that more and make these connections around Jesus? So you have support. Sarah?
Yeah, that's what Luke and I are doing. We're helping facilitate these, not leading them, but in the next month, I'm willing, just give me a call and say, hey, I'd like to do this. I have no idea what that means. And Luke, I'll volunteer for him. Call either one of us and say, I'm interested in this, but I need more information. And we can talk through very practical things. So.
If you have a 507 area code, leave a message because I'll probably think it's spam at first.
That's for your pastor too still. Why don't Connect groups run year round? Very valid argument. We're doing some of these things already. But it's back to that same reasoning of why can't I be in more than one? Because three main reasons. If you jump into something halfway through, you feel like the guy or the girl who's jumped into something. And so we're putting a time frame on it. Right now it's 6 weeks of this Connect group. That way we can diversify those that we connect with, because again, this is something that we're going to do for a time and then do again. This will be a recurring windows throughout the whole year, is what we're hoping to do with this. And Luke?
I'm going to bounce back to that previous one. If you do decide you want to lead a Connect group, when you're filling out that form, keep that question in mind, because you're going to be thinking about the 5 W's, the who, what, why, and when, while you're filling it out, so it may kind of work you through that. I mean, because really, once it's put together, all you're really doing is sharing that activity with people that want to join you.
Excellent. So just the final dates as a wrap up to you all. Thank you for your time and attention here. Opening now through September 14th, the next 3 weeks, is the proposal window, where the member-created, member-led, you can go online. There's a form there that you fill out with all those questions that Luke just alluded to. So we'll have 3 weeks. Please submit. I'll go so far as to say there will not be a bad idea as we're figuring these things out and what we're hoping to accomplish. So for 3 weeks there, then there's that Connect Group Leader Orientation on the 21st, where we just set forth expectations. And then the 28th is when the whole congregation, as you exit, we're just kind of planning that high school job fair type scenario. Everybody has a table, or each group has a table. You walk around, you talk about what are you doing, and you kind of see it all. That'll open up about a week of sign up, which will be online as well. We might have some digital or some paper ones just at the start. Then finally, October 6th is when the Connect groups will begin for 6 weeks going into November. So any more questions that you have, we'll be around. You can also check out the rotating announcement TV in the back room there. 10:30, we'll meet back in here for that presentation on the Synod, and Bob Harrison and others will be helping Pastor Workentine through that. And otherwise, these are in the back, I believe. Snacks are prepared. So once again, good morning to you all, and God's blessings on your week ahead. Thank you.